Everybody might, you'll see a lot of people on the sidelines and they'll tweet right away and say, here's the score, but they don't.
Phil Fabrizio.
So I usually try to find the picture that shows the scoring moment.
George Smith.
This is Coach Bob Malloy, who coached for many years.
Jackie South.
Interesting experience working for the local newspaper.
And David Wolf.
Composition of 3 separate pictures.
Had been sharing the sidelines at dozens of Montgomery County sporting events for years. They've captured some of the best photography of this area's sporting legends, and they've teamed up to present their reflections on the stories behind those images.
There are so many images that it's hard to actually say what's a special image,
Yeah.
The exhibit, Our Moments in Time, is on display at the Activity Center at Bohrer Park in Gaithersburg.
First of it's a variety of sports. They're nice pictures. It's capturing the moment. I mean, we have Quince Orchard. I'm looking at the picture of Quince Orchard that obviously Phil took, and how neat that one is.
Each of these sideline photographers have documented all levels of sports in and around Montgomery County for a variety of publications.
Tell me about this picture.
This picture.
And along the way, acing those action shots of county stars like Jake Funk from Damascus High School.
But it was all wet. It was an October night, I think, October 2014. And I'm catching Jake, and he is just running through Rockville. Here he is. He's a classic pose of a fullback. And he's just coming through the line and he's knocking people over.
Jackie South won a first place award from the Maryland, Delaware, D.C. Press Association for her portrait of the Myers sisters trio from Whitman High School.
It was really interesting watching how they interacted on the court, and then when I got to take these portraits, it was fabulous. Just listening to them bicker back and forth and banter back and forth. They were really, really a great combination of kids together. Everybody who sees that image, if they've played basketball or anywhere in the county, they're like, oh yeah, we know the Myers. Everybody knows who they are.
These photographers know they are capturing moments that many fans miss because they happen so quickly.
There are 20 girls on that field, and I got 17 faces in that picture.
Wow.
And not only I have 17 pictures, but there is no hair in their face. All the ponytails are tied back. They've got the arms out, and they've got all the movements. And there's such a coordination that they got all their feet up off the field. And I must have that day stood one spot where I knew where they were going to be jumping, and I hit off about 120 photos.
This was a playoff game at the Xfinity Center at University of Maryland, and this is QO and Wise. And this is a player, Johnny Firestein. My boys both played basketball, and I followed him from when he was just a little kid. He just turned out to be a fabulous player. I mean, disciplined and ball handler and jumping. I mean, just had everything.
And just like the saying goes, a picture is worth 1,000 words. These photographers have captured the stories and emotions of so many, and they interject them into their pictures.
The young man in the picture.
George Smith told us about how he got to know Austin Cohen, a young man from Quince Orchard High School who wanted to play football,
Diagnosed with bone cancer.
but instead spent his youth fighting bone cancer. George Smith met Austin when he started taking photos on the sidelines himself.
Got to, become his friend, and invited him to come and shoot the state final at M&T Stadium on the field, which is, that's not something everybody gets to do. Very cold day, and I kept, his father's on the right, Scott, and I kept saying to Scott, is he going to be okay? And he says, whatever he wants. And I was just impressed by how strong Austin was, strong character, and he battled his disease with tremendous grace. All of us take thousands of pictures a year. A lot of them are action shots, catching the ball, fingertip catch or whatever, that could have been hanging here. But the theme of what I think we were trying to achieve is pictures that meant something to us. So that's a picture that meant a great deal to me.
These journalists chose the photos for this exhibit because of the lesson each picture gave them.
And the key thing about it is they've all got their mouths open. And swimming is the one sport where the coach will tell you, stop breathing.
We might think we know the story behind reading a facial expression when we look at a photo, but sometimes even the professional behind the lens can be enlightened.
She collided with her when she'd come off her line, the keeper way up off her line. And it was a head-on smash type thing. I got to interview him a few days later, and I printed this picture and showed it to him. And I said, now, exactly what were you thinking? Because I was thinking, like, well, next time we'll kill you. He says, no, not at all. What we were thinking was, and they both answered at the same time in unison, get up off the ground, you're not hurt.
The story behind this is that this is essentially the picture that started me in professional photography. I took this picture 7 or 8 years earlier, and Duke Beatty saw it, who was the head of athletics in Montgomery County. He liked it and he wanted a copy. So I gave him a copy. It was larger than this that hang on the wall in the offices. And one thing led to another, and I ended up working for MPSSA since about 2007 as their official photographer.
Even though this group can frequently show up at the same event, there are no elbows being thrown on the sidelines. They have become close friends, sharing stories, tips, and even having lunch in the off-season.
Once the season ends, it's like, where are we going to go have somewhere to eat? So,
This group gets the big picture of what it means to work side by side in a field where they are tasked with the important job of recording history. The exhibit is open to the public and runs until March 10th. Reporting from Gaithersburg, I'm Susan Kenedy.